There was a time in my life that if I don't take drugs, my head can be shaking. I can just shake till I take it. I was really addicted to drugs very well. There was a time with me and my friend, we went to Cotonou. We went to buy a car. We said, let's buy something tear up or something that is new. Went to Cotonou, crossed Badagry, went to Cotonou, bought a car, landed back. So we were like, okay, let's enjoy ourselves. Let's go to Legushi Beach. From there, we'll find a driver that will drive it back. We can now fly it ourselves back to Asaba. Do you know that car? We used it on drugs in Legushi Beach. We finished 3 million to or 2 million naira. I think then thereabout. We finished it on drugs. We took drugs with that car. We didn't carry it back. We went with the idea of coming back with car. We returned to Asaba alone by ourselves. I don't borrow, but I can borrow for drugs. And the way I said and initiate the creativity is something I can't tell you today. I may not be able to borrow to eat now, but if I want to borrow for drugs, the lie will come out. There is a way you can cook up the lie just to make sure that I get the satisfaction of that drugs.
How much do you spend in a day for drugs?
It depends on what you are having then. There are some days you can spend 1 million
on drugs.
Yes. There are some days you can spend 500,000, depending on how you are living there, how your income is then. There are some days you might not even have money. You are hoping that this your guy will come and buy, this one will come and buy, this one will come and buy. But how many can they give you? I can't give you my lighter for drugs. You need to have your own. That is how we are addicted to it. When I'm depressed, I look for drugs. When I'm confused, I look for it. It's always like my best friend. You know, that pill they used to call Refnol is blue in color. When you put it in your tongue, it's your teeth can be blue, your tongue can be blue. They used to call the pill Refnol. That pill was actually made for mad people. When they are off their sense, they will now give it to them. They can now calm down. That's what we call drugs. Can you imagine that kind of thing? Something that is used to calm mad people.
And you also took that one.
It's one of the best, because when you take it, you can say you see. So someone can now say that it makes him calm. Something they give to mad people. Am I mad?
Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Talk Experience Show, and I'm so excited today because we have in our studio Pastor Benny. Thank you so much for making our time to be in our studio today. I'm so excited to have you. You're very much welcome.
Thank you.
All right. I've heard a lot about your story, and part of the reason why we reached out is because I believe that a lot of people out there has so much to learn from your life experiences, how God transitioned you from who you used to be to who you are now. So I would like to know first what your life was before now that you are in Christ. You are serving the Lord as a pastor and doing the work of the Lord. What was the nature of your life before now? Let us begin from there.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Godstime, for the privilege. I won't take it for granted. Okay. Maybe I would start from my university time. Okay. I came from a Christian background. My mom is a pastor. My dad believes in God so much, believes in my mom's ministry. I went to Madonna University Okija. So my 100 level was okay, but starting from my 200 level, it was another different kind of life entirely. I believe that was the point everything got worse. I became a member of a confraternity, which I would not want to mention the name, but I think that was where I totally forgot God. It got to that point where I didn't even remember where I'm coming from. I forgot God, in as much as I went to a mission school, but I was living another kind of life altogether. From 200 level, I joined the confraternity. I became a very strong member. We were little when I joined. And I think with our influence, starting from me, and in the space of 1 month, we were able to gather 40-something people as member, from 100 level, from 300 level. I was in 200 level then, from final year, from law faculty, people joined, because of the influence we pulled. So that's why even till today, I believe we can do so much for God. So it was really a rough life from 200 level to 300 level, then to my final year. We kept going deeper and deeper, meeting people, connecting to people.
But how were you people able to get that number of people within a space of 1 month into cultism?
I would say, from my own point of view, I believe influence. influencing the people that believes in you. Those times in school is about intellect, it's about money, it's about how you look, people you move around with. I believe it's about that. So I think maybe we were among the people that live a better life in school. One, two, when it comes to our appearance, I believe we look well then. Then people like coming closer to us. There is this. I believe there is this grace that always follow people personally. There is a place. There are people that can appear. People will like coming to you. I'm that kind of person. Talking about myself personally, so I'm that kind of person. And people come around me. I know how to accommodate 100 level people. When I was in 200 level, in my room, I can accommodate them. I don't like where they bully them. I can share things with people. In class, I'm this social. I can move with people. I can communicate with people. As time goes on, people comes close to you to actually understand whom you are. I was not that good, but I know I was doing well academically. So people were that close. From there, just from one gist to the other, leading from one place to the other. Okay, let's be like you. Let's like, especially 100 level. We like what you do. We like how we grew from this stage to the other. In fact, it gets to a point. I believe that including the hand of Satan, because he knows how to amplify things to people, and people would like to join. Because even people in other confraternities, they were even joining, bringing a lot of trouble. It's not easy to bring someone from another confraternity to your own. There are things you have to face. You will see things, but we do it. People join. People, their best, we join. We go to another class, join. A security man that is supposed to take care of students, all of a sudden he's feeling new people, he joins. We have influence here and there. We want to do things. A security man is among us, so we can do it. We go. So it was
what
really.
was the nature of your activities that was attracting much more people?
I believe I can't really tell the much activity, but I know I do things. I play ball,
No, I mean the nature of the fraternity's activity.
There is no even one particular activity we do. It's just that we move together. We do this unity on Saturday. We can just bring one big pot, cook. There is nothing much in the pot, just food. We just cook. We help ourselves. We make sure we don't look tattered. We encourage ourselves academically. Why is this person failing? Why should he be failing? We find a way to tackle it. We are not always in this fight stuff or stealing. We can't hear that someone stole something. It's not part of us. We don't like hearing it, especially in my own region. I don't want to hear stealing. I don't want to hear you were among the people they caught doing something. You can be a drug addict. You can like smoke, but don't do it in school. Obey school. We don't like such things. So I believe people were seeing it and they liked what we were doing. They loved how we were neat and all that. So we want to go and watch football. We go together. We go in groups, some stuffs like that. So I believe that we are feeling those physical activities. Then they keep on coming. In fact, at a point we rejected some people because they were too lousy. Okay. We don't like stuff like that. But confraternity is confraternity. Okay. When we go out, we still show our normal rugged lifestyle, and we connected to people. We connected to schools. Sometimes we jump fence. We go to places. We just it was a whole lot of story, but thank God for everything. We did it to the fullest, but thank God. I'm one of the people that always believe that God can transform people, because it was another kind of mindset entirely. But I saw the hand of God. I believe that a time can come in the life of a man when a man can actually turn away from some things and face the reality of God. I believe that God can change people. It's a reality.
Okay, joining that fraternity or that cult group, what negative influences did such activities had on you?
Believing that you can die at any time.
Okay.
Believing that anything can happen to you. It's more like, because it looks ordinary, but it's not, because I believe a spirit is attached. When you look at your actions, later when you sit down and meditate, you discover that there is a spirit attached to this thing. There is something you are calling as a god. There is a name we call a god. There is a symbol we give him. There are activities that go on when we want to initiate someone, So it's very obvious that a spirit is attached to this thing. Sometimes people do it, they don't know that a spirit is attached because of the way it comes out. But later, when you begin to look into it, you can see that there is something that have taken an advantage of this thing to work upon people. We believe that you can die at any time. We believe that you answer anytime that you are called.
Really?
It's just from one step to the other. When you keep getting closer, you keep seeing that something is attached. Something is attached. In fact, sometimes you have encounters. You see some things that you can't be able to explain unless you meet people in another kind of level that can explain to you that this thing you're seeing is not just the way you're seeing it, it's real. Sometimes all these government officials, politicians, sometimes when you meet people, some market people that have risen to a particular point, when you begin to associate with them, maybe people that want you to do one or two things for them, they want you to follow them to this thing, maybe a burial or a marriage, they're organizing something. When you sit down in their midst, you can really sense another spirit attached to this thing. It's a spiritual something. But when you're starting it from school, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. If there is nothing attached to it, there is no need pursuing to kill you when you want to quit. Something is attached to it.
Yeah. But
Something
when
is attached to it.
okay, we will still talk about how you were able to pull from it, because I want to learn if they came after you, or you escaped. How you were able to pull out from this thing. But then, you also had issues with drug addiction, right?
Okay. Yes.
I would like to know your experience, how it started, things that went on during those periods, and maybe how you were able to break out from that lifestyle as well.
Okay, my drug addict, it started from school. Also, I think that's for my 200. 100 level. Everybody's a good boy.
Yeah.
Everybody's a mommy's boy. You're trying to be at peace with God and your parents. But from that 200 level, you're trying to make your results perfect. You don't want to have carryover. But from that 200 level, I think that was where things about drugs started. I started with cigarette, Benson, Donchester. We used to have this thing in school we call exit, because you don't just leave school anyhow. It's a private school. So when we leave, we try to stay outside, we smoke, we drink. I'm not even that drinking type, but I noticed that when I went to school, there is this drink. McDowell's was one of the best drinks then. We buy it. So now I saw people smoking, they want to smoke enough to carry it into school, so it will take them till when they will come out again.
Yeah.
So I said, this thing, what is this? Let me even test this thing. I took the smoke, I dragged one. It was just, there was nothing in there. The smoke was kind of, let me drag again. That was how I started. I took the first one, took the second one, took the third one. So from that day, I learned how to now go outside. Go out from school. Now I'll smoke cigarettes. Go buy perfume, spray myself, does the drink, come back. That was how we started. But one thing about starting something is that when you start it, you think you're going to stop it now, but you're not stopping it now. From there, I started smoking. From there, I met another level of people. Weed. Then chewing weed. You can't smoke weed inside school. Sometimes we can buy it, put it in our food, Indomie beans, eat it. Sometimes we chew it. From there, we started seeing levels of drugs. But we could not comfortably do it. So it was, I think, when we got to final year. So I'm this person. I wanted my life to be independent. So from my final year, I left from school to Asaba, hoping that I'm going to do well. We've heard about Yahoo, say we're going to join, that we're going to make money. We saw the money actually. So when we got to the Asaba, we now saw all kinds of things. From that Asaba to Oba, because our neighborhood school is this Oba, this Tansia. So when we come, we see people. Sometimes when we go for that exit, we come to Oba. We see people selling drugs. These machine guys, they carry drugs. I heard they bring it from Obusi. They will sell. We see people taking all kinds of things. We are seeing it, but we are not taking it. But when we came out from school, we saw it again in Asaba. We were, let's test this thing. From there, we'll test this, test that. From there, Satan blessed us because it's not God actually. So we saw money. We can buy this one. There's this one they used to call crack. There's this one they used to call ice. It's just junior brother to cocaine. We sniffed cocaine. I was an addict. Like there was a time in my life that if I don't take drugs, my head can be shaking.
Really?
I can just shake till I take it.
You were really addicted to
I was really addicted to drugs very well. In fact, there was a time me and my friend, we went to Cotonou. We went to buy a car. We said, let's buy something tear up or something that is new. We went to Cotonou, crossed Badagry, went to Cotonou, bought a car, landed back. So we were like, okay, let's enjoy ourselves. Let's go to Legushi Beach. Let's just 2 days. Then from there, we'll find a driver that will drive it back. We can now fly it ourselves back to Asaba. Do you know that car? We used it on drugs in Legushi Beach. We finished 3 million, 2 or 2 million, I think. Then thereabout, we finished it on drugs. We took drugs with that car. We didn't carry it back. We went with the idea of coming back with car. We returned to Asaba alone by ourselves. That is how bad we were in drugs. So we were too addicted that we can do anything. I don't borrow, but I can borrow for drugs. And the way Satan initiates the creativity is something I can't tell you today. I may not be able to borrow to eat now, but if I want to borrow for drugs, the lie will come out. There is a way he can cook up the lie, just to make sure that I get the satisfaction of that drugs. So it's a very bad thing. It's something that I know that God delivered me from. That I can always stand and tell someone that God is real, that God can deliver people. So I was really addicted to drugs, even in Asaba. I remember one particular time we were with drugs, and I think police entered into that place, so trying to catch us and handcuff us. Then I was still struggling for my drugs instead of running for my life. So it was that bad. It was that bad. So
like, how much do you spend in a day for drugs?
It depends on what you are having then. There are some days you can spend 1 million
on drugs.
Yes. There are some days you can spend 500,000, depending on how you are living then, how your income is then. There are some days you might not even have money. You are hoping that this your guy will come and buy, this one will come and buy, this one will come and buy. But how many can they give you? I can't give you my lighter for drugs. You need to have your own. That is how we are addicted to it. There's much more addicted. Sometimes your property, you don't even have money. You keep one of your phone because you want to take this thing. I was that much more addicted to it.
So, but how did the addiction happen proper? Could you pinpoint, this is when I became so much addicted to this? You got to a point where you take it morning, afternoon, night, right?
It got to a point where I can't even take it in my house. I need to go and find a hotel. I don't need disturbance.
Really?
I don't need disturbance. This thing has levels. I can give you the level of smoke and the level of drugs like cocaine and crack. They have their own stories. Then the level of pills, Refinol and Suinol, they have their levels. There's a level you will get to. You don't want to deal with these ones again. You don't need it. Your blood doesn't need it. It's not what you need. You don't need the kind of initiative they bring. You don't want it. You leave that level to another level totally. So I think when I got much more addicted, it was in Asaba. When I have known that I can achieve this thing, I can purchase it. Okay. Sometimes people think money can do a lot of things. When you know that you can now purchase this thing, you don't even need to tell someone that you want to go and do this thing. Yeah. You just go on your own. On your own, you stay on your own. You do it on your own. I think that was where I got much more addicted to drugs. When I knew that now I can purchase this thing, I have the money, I can do it without asking anybody for anything. I don't need to ask anybody to escort me, unless when I want to have conversations with people. Sometimes you need a group of friends to move it. I think that was when I got much more addicted. You are now in a deep relationship with the dealer. He can move anytime, any minute to bring it to anywhere. So that was when it became so bad. There was a time I had to move my dealer from Asaba to, was it Ugeli or Wari? He had to travel on his own to bring the drugs with his own hand. Not putting it in any way. No way, baby. No, I don't need any way. Bring it with your hand. I will give you your money. That's how bad it got. Even in Oba. I remember when we came for a junior friend, one small boy, we came for his it's not Oba, Umunya. They have this branch in Umunya, Tansia. Yeah. So when we went to Umunya for that, I had to call the dealer to bring it from Asaba to Umunya. That's how bad the thing can be. I think that point we slept at a bar.
So you literally carry it to anywhere.
Anywhere. There is no way I can stay without friend, but I can't stay without drugs. It's not possible. Something must be there. The point, the way you can just search your dirty clothes and find money. If you search my clothes, you must see something. There must be one pill here and there. Something must be hanging somewhere to take. I was that addicted to drugs.
Really?
Very addicted.
And you also had issues with all this security system. How do you then smuggle it from one location to the other?
That one is the one Satan will now explain, because the way sometimes you can jam them. You settle them. You just do the needful. Sometimes you move at a specific time. That's why when you see any drug dealer or anybody that carries drugs around, what they use is mostly his bike.
Okay.
In a way they can be able to run if there is anything. So, but one thing I can never do is I don't carry drugs on my own.
Okay.
I like staying somewhere, bring it, I will pay you. I don't want that trouble. I don't want to enter into trouble. The first time I entered into that kind of trouble, it was a long matter. We got to Benin because of that thing. We got to Benin because of it. But trust me, I was really addicted to drugs. It only took the hand of God. I'm not even sure rehab can handle my issue. Yes, I'm not sure, because it wasn't showing. If you look at me, I'm fat. I'm not that slim like someone that is addicted to something. But I know. Some people around me, my close friends, know that I'm addicted to this thing. They know that this thing I can't stay without. No, it's not possible. There is no area of my house you will go, you won't find something must be there.
Really?
I was really addicted to it.
So was there any or let me just put the question this way, is there any advantage in this drug? There
is no advantage in drugs.
But before that, how many years did you struggle with this drug addiction?
Okay, let's see, from 2012. From 2012 till 2000 it's not quite that long, 2016 or 15.
That's let's say 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. It was not that long in age, but the depth.
Yeah,
the depth was so bad. It was so bad that people that started before us, they have to beckon on us to know the new thing that is happening now. Honestly speaking, it was very, very deep.
So what advantage now is there in these drugs?
I don't think there is any advantage in taking drugs. Although that when you be doing it, you feel that it's doing more good, but it's not. When you cross over to the other side, you will discover that drugs is a very bad thing. It's a bad addict. It's a bad experience. It's a bad initiator. Honestly speaking, I hear people saying that it can give them insight. Something that can give you insight and get you angry to do what you won't do on a normal day. It's not worth giving that accolade. So I don't think there is any advantage in drugs. There is no.
You never felt.
Do you know Refnol?
Okay. Yeah.
That pill they used to call Refnol, it's blue in color. When you put it in your tongue, it's your teeth can be blue, your tongue can be blue. They used to call the pill Refnol. That pill was actually made for mad people. When they are off their sense, they will now give it to them. They can now calm down. That's what we call drugs. Can you imagine that kind of thing? Something that is used to calm mad people.
And you also took that one very well.
It's one of the best, because when you take it, you can say you see. So someone can now say that it makes him calm. Something they give to mad people. Am I mad? You see, so drugs is not. There is no good in drugs. There is no way they want to paint it. There is no good thing.
Because
about
someone
drugs.
once said that drugs opens him up to the prophetic, that when he takes it, he gets high and he can see things. Those periods you were addicted to drugs, were you seeing things?
You can see things, but it's very obvious that it's not from God. It's not godly. Even normal alcohol can open you up to things, but it is very clear that it's not godly. It's not godly. If you want to see, or if you want to, you look for the Holy Ghost. You find a deeper intimacy. I believe that is not godly. Seeing from it can make you see, but it can still get you angry. It can make you do things that you're not supposed to do. Do you know? So there is nothing godly about it. It's true there is a characteristics about, there is something like that can happen when you are into drugs, but it is very clear that it's not godly.
Yeah.
It's not. There's nothing godly about it.
So what was one of the craziest things you did under the influence of drugs?
One of the craziest things I did, I think I have two.
Okay.
One is beating up a keke man. You know, there was this friend we used to have. Her name is Maureen. So I think one keke man, she now told us that one keke man slapped her on the road, and we drove to that place. We're staying at Bonsac, so we drove from Bonsac to McDonald's to see the keke man. When we got to that place, we didn't ask anything. We didn't nothing. Just parked the car, came down from my car, just carried bottles, stabbed the keke man.
Really?
It was an action. I didn't think of it. I didn't think of that. Was one of the craziest things drugs have ever made me do. Because I knew that thing was not just. It's not just because the girl told us that someone slapped her. We moved with a particular. Even on, I think on the road that day, we were trying to. The policeman was trying to stop us. We didn't even stop. We just firing the car. So we stabbed the man without thinking to. Even my friend was like, we didn't come to stab him now. We didn't come to stab. It's just to see what.
Like you stabbed him to death.
No, he didn't die, but it was really a very. It's a big injury because it was somewhere here.
Okay.
It was somewhere. It was a very big injury. And when I came back to myself, I had to. We gave him treatment. You know, turned this keke upside down. Keke was facing down. The tire was off. And that hospital, when you enter McDonald's, there is this junction. When I say this is drugs. This is not
Normal.
It's not normal thing. Another rubbish that is funny, but it's not funny. Was when I think it was that one. It was pure smoke. We smoked to a point. I think 2:00. There was no food to eat, but there was this fufu we bought, and it was in the kitchen. So there was no soup. No boy's house now. Nobody to cook. We didn't even care. I was like, later we'll buy shawarma and eat. And the hunger was it was intense. It's funny, but it's not funny. And I brought out red oil with Maggi and salt. Put it inside the plate. I now ate it with the fufu because of hunger. And when I was eating it, my friend now came out. He was laughing at me. I said it's because you didn't smoke what I smoked. If you smoked what I smoked, now you would test this thing. It's delicious. You don't know what I'm talking about. So like I said, it's funny, but it's one experience that when I tell people, they start laughing. So you don't understand. I think that's two crazy things I've witnessed.
How
in
did
drugs.
you cope with women?
There was one day
Okay.
I slept in this divider, road divider. Those road divider, you know this road divider?
Yeah.
I bent there and I slept like this. I slept for like almost 40 minutes because of drugs. I slept, they were waking me up. I refused. I didn't wake up. And I was in the spirit there. As that place, it was like mocha foam. It's like that foam, that was the best I can see that time. Literally I was sleeping there. I slept. Put my hand was pillow, I slept. There is nothing good about drugs. There is no 1% good about drugs. Anything you feel that is good, drugs can offer you. Holy Spirit can offer you better and give you more comfort and peace. Yeah. You were talking about women.
Yeah.
Women was not actually my thing. That doesn't mean I didn't mingle with women, but it wasn't my thing. Anybody that is deep, anyway, there are people that are deep in drugs that are still deep in women. And do you know the worst thing? Let me tell you a story. There is this girls from North. that came to serve in Asaba. And they came to my compound. Our compound was like, it was like this estate bungalow, so it was 5 in number. So there was this boys' quarter. Every bungalow is entitled to one boys' quarter. Every bungalow is entitled to one boys' quarter. So I had these people that came from the north to serve. Amina and I think Amina and Aisha, they came from the north. And when they came searching for house, so there was no house. They entered our compound. They were like they came to serve, and there's no house. And me, I was staying in this bungalow. Then the other my friend was staying in the other one, and we were like, this boys' quarter is for us. We're not using it. Let's release it to people. They can even pay us, and we can use the money. It's just 1 year. They can stay there. So when they were about to go, I will call them back. Say, okay, this bungalow, you can take it. It's for us, but you have to pay us. Then stay there. Do your very tiny people. They're like, okay. So they even paid immediately. And paid nice boys' quarter. There is kitchen there. Is provided. It was a well-built house. So the next day they left that day. Then the next day they went to this LG company. They came, with that their tiny store. You won't even know, very slim. They went to one LG company. The next thing we saw big car bringing appliances. They brought new things. That was my friend. These girls are big girls, but they look tiny. And so when they now bought things, everything was new. They now called people that would fix it. They were fixing the foam, bed rail. Everything was just new. So, but the thing is that that day in the evening, all this Toyota Tundra now came into our compound, and they now brought something and gave to the girls and left. So in the night when I was trying to walk around the compound, we can even play ball in our compound. And I peeped through the window and I saw someone with bunker. And they added drugs and they were sniffing drugs. I went back to my friend and said, this is our kind of people. The reason why I'm saying this thing is because of women. If you're not doing the kind of thing I'm doing, you can't be around me, even as a woman. You can't be around me. So sometimes it's not just about, you have to just be among that league. You get. Now when we now saw that these are the kind of people we mingle with, what we now did is that the next day we now did the thing outside the compound. And one of them, I think it was the Aisha girl, now looked at us and said, bros, now they do this kind of thing. And I looked at her. I said, to be very open, I said, now I saw now for windows, now they do now yesterday. We now connected. They now saw that it's the same kind of people, birds of the same feathers. That was how we connected. In fact, all those times we blend with them, we connected with them. So even if you are a woman around me, you have to have this kind of. You have to be this kind of person. So women was not really my thing then, but if you're a woman around me, you must find this thing around you. You must be this kind of person. So that was just it. I don't really have story about women, but the ones I have, you must be around. You must be that kind of person. Even someone I dated was that kind of person. You have to be that kind of person around me. So I was not deeply there. It was not my thing. Even in school, even in my area, they know me with that. But if you have to be around me, that thing must be your virtue. You must be somebody. And they were deep in it more than us. They showed us things we never knew. That was the first time I saw gum. People sniffing gum. When you hear that people are sniffing gum, it's not just this aboki gum. The thing is very thick. If you sniff it, it can enter inside your brain. The thing has this power. Like in the first 5 seconds, you can feel like you want to get mad. Those girls, they have energy. Slim, but if they don't talk, they just quiet, but the energy there. No.
So what other lifestyle did you also have the experience of during those days?
Okay.
You were into frauding as well, right?
So?
Frauding. Like into fraud. You were into fraud.
Yes. I started that one. That one happened when I came newly in Asaba. I met one particular guy. Actually, I met one older guy, but the guy was not really giving us what we wanted. So there was this guy, I senior himself. sitting around with like 1 year. But when you're learning something from someone, you have to become the junior. So stayed with the guy. He knew the thing like his son him. So put us through that. Between that 214, 215, getting to 216, that was when I started seeing the first impact, the first money and all that. And it was actually large then. Even till now, is still large. Someone can start off something with that kind of money. So that was when the guy now started teaching us. So the first step we picked in our language. We picked, percentage. We shared. From there we divided. The guy now had his own apartment. In fact, that was the guy I'm even telling you that was living in the other apartment. Okay. That was the guy we started with. But I'm older than him with just a year. So I was into fraud though. I was into fraud. Big time. It was in the midst of my fraud. In fact, I had my encounter with God in the midst of my fraud. There is this package of fraud we call Alibaba. Okay. Hacking into people's mails. I think that was the first time I was able to hack into someone's mail and waiting for a particular huge amount of money. It was about 80-something million naira then in Nigerian money. So we were waiting for that mail. I was in my room waiting for that mail that day. It's my Apple laptop on my desk. Then, still on this drug issue. I just took drugs, waiting for the mail, took drugs. I slept off till like 2-3. Then when I now this sensitivity in the spirit that there is something you were doing before you slept off. So I was waiting for the mail, because once the mail drops and you didn't do what you're supposed to do, the other person will see the message and you cannot be able to edit it and add whatever, maybe the account number or something, or return the message. So when I woke up from that sleep to get to my laptop, it was something else. All my room, I'm just telling you my encounter now, all my room became white. I couldn't see anything. Everywhere in my room was white. The only thing I could see was my laptop. Looking at my laptop, very confused with my life. I can't say anything. Literally, it's like I was pinched on that bed. I can't even move. So what is going on? I'm seeing my laptop. All of a sudden, something is coming out from my laptop. Sometimes you can't explain encounter. It's supernatural. It's something that it can change only you for some time. For like 1 year, you can't say it. For like 1 year, I can't even mention it to someone because it's something I can't tell. Like everywhere, it's like I left my room. It's like me and my laptop left my room, and we went to somewhere that was glorious, white in nature. And all of a sudden, I saw a man just coming out from the laptop. How is it possible? How will I tell somebody that? It's just like Moses. How is he going to tell people that a bush was burning and nothing was burning? I was looking at a man stepping out from the laptop. He looks big. He looks small. There was eyes in his fire. There was fire in his eyes. I don't know what I'm seeing. But I know that a man was stepping out. All of a sudden, I'm seeing his arms, his palms. There was blood gushing out. I can't explain. I can't talk. I can't even speak to the man. So all of a sudden, he looks big. He looks small. This 3D TV that they wear spec for. That was the way the thing was looking. I can't say anything. I can't mention anything. The man was speaking, but I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything initially. Till when he came closer. It looks like he's coming closer. He's trying to overshadow me. Meanwhile, he's still in the laptop. Coming out. I can't explain it. But all of a sudden, he was now saying something. I can hear him, yet his mouth was not moving. That was when I got the instruction to go to my father in the Lord. That was how I ended up in Ichi. He spoke to me there. He called my name. The only thing he said just two things. He just said, Benjamin, now is the time. That was the only thing he said. The next thing he started saying was instruction. When you get to your mother, ask your mother about this person, collect his phone number, go to that place, wait for me. I will come and meet you there. That was what kept me there for like 4 years before God answered me again. So that was how I moved from there back to Onitsha. The first time my mother saw me, she don't know what to do, whether to cry or to get happy. I just told her I just came for something. This is what I came for. This is what I came for. You will see me again. Took the man's number. I didn't leave Asaba with pain. I had 2 cars. I was driving a Spider and Avalon. I didn't leave with any pain. When people are talking about transformation, I just laugh because sometimes they want to transform with the old things they have. It's not possible. I didn't live with any pin. I left with only a bag with 3 clothes. My iPhone did not follow me back. It was only one phone I was using to make up. The phone I used to work did not follow me back. It was just the slippers, the clothes I was wearing, the 3 clothes in my bag that left with me. My car key didn't leave with me. I just took change as transport, and I did not come back to that house again. How the car went, I don't know. How just one landed property I was able to get. Igbo man now, you're supposed to get something. Nobody say you go to chop money. That Igbo mentality. I bought 150 by 100. Then I wanted to use for fish pond, but drug no let me do it. Both the documents, both the house, both where I was staying, both the boy I was staying with, both the laptop, both the consignment we were waiting for. That was how I dumped everything. So when I'm hearing people saying that they changed and they moved with that, and I'm trying to wonder how did they do it? Because that thing did not happen to me. I didn't move with any pin. I just moved with that my bag, came back to my house, then told my mom, this is where I'm going to. I went there. In fact, getting to there in 2 days, hearing the man speak, I even did the worst. I brought out my SIM card and I broke it. So there was no contact again. No connection. That was how I left everything and started following God till today. In as much as after 6 months, you see, that's even another point, another part of my life I want to talk about. After 6 to 7 months, I was burning, following. But that issue of addiction came back.
After you are now born again?
Yes. After like 6-7 months. Because I left there, I didn't smoke again. No. When I came to that itching, the first day the man preached, after preaching, it was that program I was telling you, Covenant program. He preached from 12 to 4. So I received a lot from that program, but something was within me. I want to smoke. I left that place to the junction, and I found where they were selling this brown Benson. Nobody knew me now. I just bought like 3. I smoked 1. Then the second one was very hard for me to smoke. I left it. Then going back for the night section, something, when they were worshiping, something just happened to me. I felt like something melted inside me. I felt a melt inside me, and I felt like something was leaving me. From that day, I didn't witness smoke again. I knew that I was smoking, but if I perceive smoke, it's like poison. It's something was happening within me. But after like 7 to 8 months, my God, the way the addiction returned back, I did everything I left. I did all of them. But now I was not able to do it openly. I was now hiding, because already in that 7 months, I was already following outside, following for evangelism, following to, boss evangelism, keke evangelism, going outside to preach. I don't know, God was setting trap for me in a way that I can't, where you preached, you can't come there to now order for something. There are things you can't do there. And I was moving very fast. I was going to Nkwonewi, going to this Oba Junction, going to Ojoto. There's this market they have there. If I did go, strategic places that. But when the addiction came back, so because I joined my dad in business, I was moving with him to Ochanja. So I was still having small money. I still have money to pay for hotel. So what I've now done is that I will pay for hotel. I will buy small drugs, go there, I will smoke my life. You see, the thing came back gradually. Satan is everly prepared. When I see people, there is one thing that Satan will always have more than believers. In my own language, patience. He can wait for you. He can wait for you. Just be doing. He will wait for you. He will wait for you. He will wait for you. He knows when to come. He knows when to send distraction with weariness. He will send them in combination. They will walk hand in hand and bring you down. It's just like from that 8th to 9th month till like straight 3 to 4 months again, I found myself in addiction. I found myself doing that thing I left. In fact, sometimes I won't come home. I will just sleep in hotel. I wouldn't want to call one or two names of hotel, but believe me, even in this jurisdiction, I had to sleep in some hotel to take drugs, so that people will not see me. So that you are already outside, so you don't want to stay anywhere. You want to stay somewhere hidden and do what you want to do. So the addiction came. In fact, it came in a level again that I didn't expect, honestly. So people can leave something and those things can come back to them. It took the grace of God upon Selman's teaching and Apostle Edu to break it again, because God have to redirect me. Even when I was still with my father, I sensed that there is a need for something else to happen to me. So when I started listening to Selman, in fact, there was one day I was listening to a powerful music minister and I was smoking. I wouldn't want to mention names. I was smoking and I was dealing with drugs. Because at that point, there was no worldly music on my phone. I've changed. Yeah. I've changed. I knew that I'm a changed person. Every whole thing about me. It's just that circumstances came back again to hit me. You know? And there was a need for an upper hand to handle me. It was really dealing with me. I was still praising God, speaking in tongues, but that drugs life, it was still dealing with me for like 4 to 5 straight months. Dealing with me in a high level. But one of the things I never denied myself is telling myself the truth. That something was happening within me and I need to trash out this thing. So I had to begin to make little prayers, you know. God introduced me to Selman. I started listening. All of a sudden, I had an encounter. You know, I went to secondary to preach. I met another young boy who was preaching, so we now had the interaction. So the guy, I was now telling the guy that I need somewhere I can go. But the guy was like, "You're somewhere now." I said, "Yes, but I feel like I need somewhere." I couldn't even explain to the guy what was happening to me.
Okay, you were preaching then and then still into.
I'm telling you, I was preaching. And something was happening. Things were happening. I was going for normal school evangelism, people were, receiving Christ, but I was still in that addiction. I was smoking. I was drugging myself. Not until I met that guy, and then I told him I needed something. I couldn't even tell him the main thing that was happening to me. Yeah. But I said, I need somewhere I can go. He said, but I said, no, I need somewhere. I need to double up my encounter. I need to double up my intimacy with God. Is there any? So the guy was now telling me about Revival Hub. I said, I've not heard about this place. He said, you've not heard about? There is one place in Navy. Go to that place. Something, you will receive. I know what you're looking for. You go there, you will receive. I said, okay, let me browse. I checked my Facebook. I saw their profile. And you see, I came back and I was telling some of my little people that believed in what God is doing with me, that I found where I will go, that somewhere I can receive and come back and give them. For now, I was just sharing. We were like family. Even the pastor's children, we were sharing things. I was telling them, and they were happy. They were excited. So, but all of a sudden, that information left me again. After like 1 month, one of them was coming back from school, SS2. She was coming back from school, and she said she met a man at one junction, and the man stopped him, and the man started asking him about me. I said, the man asked him about Benny. Say, why have you not started doing what he said you will do? And the man now said, when you go back, tell him that Apostle Edu stopped you and asked you this thing. Tell him. I said, When the girl came back, her name is Comfort. In fact, she's the girl we delivered that confessed what I was saying there. So the girl says, look at what the man stopped, and stopped her to tell us. And the thing now flashed me back to what I said I was going to do. So I said, okay. Does it mean that, is it that Apostle Edu met Comfort, or is it that God took his image to meet this girl? It was when I now went to Revival Hub, and I now told Papa the encounter. Papa now said, no, he did not meet any girl like that too. And that was when I knew that it was God, maybe in an angelic form, trying to remind me that because the girl is a seer. That you need to do this thing, that this is what you needed for your life. After the girl finished that, and the next day in the morning, I just wore my clothes, went to Revival Hub. That was how I landed there. I landed there too. I a little conversation with their second pastor as of then. He said, okay, don't worry, I should wait for Papa. Papa will see me. So that was around 9 in the morning. So there's this prayer they used to do around 2 o'clock. They would do discipleship in the morning. Then there's this prayer they pray for 1 hour at 2 o'clock. Then I stayed with them. I prayed that prayer for 1 hour. So that moment I prayed with them for 1 hour, something happened within me. See, that atmosphere is really you see, it pulled something immediately. That 1 hour, I knew that something touched me. I prayed with them for that 1 hour. After that 1 hour, then Papa went inside again and I said, who is the guy that came to see me? I said, it's me. I came into the office. I sat down. I told him what was happening to me. Told him where I was. Said something. He looked at me. He prayed with me. He said, would I stay for the encounter? Because they used to have bed pangs Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That day was on a Wednesday. I said, okay, let me just stay for the bed pangs. I stayed. Then their 1 hour prayer again before the teaching. I stayed with them. I prayed with them. Prayed with them. Then I stayed in the bed pangs. Papa was now dealing with flesh. That period. I said I will pray and go. And Papa said, okay, you can pray and go. Maybe because of what you're doing. But the prayer had a way of sitting me down there. I sat down. I listened to the message. That message did a whole lot in me that moment. In fact, that was how I started coming to Revival Hall. The next day, I didn't even wait till evening for time of program. I came in the morning. I started praying. That was where I dealt with that second addiction that came from me. I stayed with them for long. Sometimes program around 8:30 to 9, I will stay there. They will finish the program. I will now find back and come back teaching. I will stay there. I will come back. I will listen to sermon. I started listening to messages, listening to that Apostle Edu Council. I will stay with them. That was how I gradually start breaking out. In fact, number one, the first thing that happened is that the time I used to give for addiction was not there again. I gave it to God. That program. I gave it to something else. Started doing something else. Then the Spirit started taking over. Something else started speaking within me. I started gaining consciousness of myself, knowing whom I am. My spirit rose. That's influence that thing had on me. I discovered that there was much more energy in my spirit to say no to it. So that was how it started. In fact, one day, sorry to say, but I took that risk. I took a risk of paying for a hotel. I went there, slept, came out without doing anything, went back home. That was the day I declared defeat. I said, today I have defeated this thing. Honestly, around this vicinity. Slept, wake up the next morning without anything. Took only a bottle of Fanta. Went back, went to my church. I stood, I said, today I've defeated this thing forever. So that was just it.
But you still had the urge, like the temptation.
Even now, they come.
Really?
Like, sometimes you can. I went to a wedding. I met an old friend. You will see people doing it.
Yeah.
But there is this strong hand within me that is telling you that you are above this thing. You are above this thing. I can stay here. People can smoke. The smoke can smell here by God's grace. Can smell here for all I care. I won't smoke. There is nothing you will tell me that. But before, it wasn't like that before. There is something now within me that always tells me that this thing, you've grown past it. You are above it. So that's just it.
Wow.
That's just it.
Thank God for God's mercies upon your life.
In fact, do you know, one day I wanted to preach to one guy. I don't know whether it's wisdom, but I believe it's wisdom. It was in my village. Came back for Xmas. We went for an occasion. So the guy was with this SK. And they've already known me as a pastor. I took the SK, took the Rizla, I grinded it. Put it in the Rizla, wrapped it more than him, added filter. And the guy was just watching me. I now removed the paper, wrapped it well. I now give it to the guy. I said, this is what you want to smoke. It's not what you want to smoke now. Or you think we don't know about it. The guy watching me wrapping it, they were all surprised. They want to know what am I trying to do? Maybe they say you are a pastor. So the way I was dealing with the thing, gradually, making it more smooth and more qualified to smoke. The guy I believe something was happening to him. So after wrapping it, I now give it to him. I said, smoke now. All of a sudden, he couldn't smoke it again. I said, this thing, we've done it. There is no life there. It's just a few seconds. No. After some time, he cried, we prayed, gave his life to Christ. Him and the other guy. So that was how they got liberated. Although I don't know much more about him now because I am a good distance, but I believe that day something happened to him. So that's just it.
I would like to know, before we tie it up, did you had issues with depression or frustration during those periods you were addicted to drugs and those kind of life?
Depression. The only thing that can depress me then is when maybe when we are expecting money and it didn't come.
Okay.
So we use drugs to cover it up. You know, I feel that is the only depression that was happening to me then. You know, sometimes something can happen. They will tell you the money was not able to land. This one and you need money for some things. You are depressed. You just need to push that energy to something else. Like I said before, I'm not that woman type. I prefer pushing my energy to drugs. So I feel that is the only time I'm depressed. When I'm depressed, I look for drugs. When I'm confused, I look for it. It's always like my best friend. You know, one singer said that weed is his best friend. That song was one of my best songs. I can play it for 24 hours. So I feel it was one of my things. I use it is a companion to me. Took the place of the Holy Spirit entirely. Totally. Because I can't deal without it. There is nothing you're saying that it's not possible. In fact, that time we had this plan that we can't buy a car that doesn't have this upper window, open roof, because you can just wind up, tint, then open it up, can be smoking, then it can be living there. Is the best thing that can. It's not possible that we can stay a day without. It's not possible. On my birthday, someone have to buy it. It's like a birthday gift. To know how we are addicted to this thing, like birthday gift. If you buy Bible of Arizona for Joku, he will like it. He will appreciate it, and someone will now buy it. There is no kind of cultivation of weed. When I went to Lagos, I went to Lekki. We met one guy that was dealing on drugs. We came to his house. We saw something like, this chemistry lab where they were nurturing loud. As green plants. They were saying it was still growing. I said, people have business. And the guy is driving one clean car. If you see the way he was nurturing highness, the one they will still fry and separate and sieve. I said, people have things. People have farm. I've seen I've seen farm. That's where the drugs have taken me to. Took me to people showing us farm. That they can cut fresh one for you and separate it now and give you something fresh. So the depression there is just, we use it to, when we are depressed, we just use it. That's just it.
Wow. So what advice now would you give to a young person that is really addicted to these drugs, and then a young person that is into fraud as well? As someone who has been there, you have tested that kind of life, the both sides of life. So what advice would you?
One thing about this thing is having a decision inside of you that you want to stop. There is nothing someone wants to tell me. Drugs is bad. Addiction of drugs is very bad. And one thing is having a decision that you want to stop. And I think we need to begin to give people confidence that there is nothing God can do. Because some people, when they're talking to you, I've helped people in such things. When they're talking to you, they're talking to you from the start point that there is nothing they have not tried. In fact, one guy was like, there is nothing he have not tried. I said, have you tried God? He said he complained to one pastor. I said, I didn't say pastor. I said, have you tried God? Have you stayed with God? Have you on your own kneel down and said, this thing, I'm ready to deal with this thing. I don't want it again. People need to understand that everybody can't deal with the same issues. All right. So I think people need to understand that, number one, God can deal with it. There is no issue that God can't deal with. That's the first thing I tell people. When I see you, I've dealt with some things by the grace of God. I've dealt with lesbians. I've dealt with homosexuals. I've dealt with people with drug issues. I've dealt with cultism. In fact, I've dealt with cultism to the point that I have to go and meet someone to tell the person that this person have decided to change. That if you have not decided to change, just do this thing peacefully. In fact, it's even more mature when you can leave people that wants to change and just do your own thing. So I've discovered that, number one, God can change any situation. People need to understand that fact. That's where I start from, honestly. From my own perspective, I would like to let you know that there is nothing God cannot do. Anything you can think of. I try to build that conviction as deep as I can into you to first of all understand that there is nothing you find in you now that God cannot change. Then after building it, the next thing I begin to do is to give you some disciplines that you need to. Because telling you that God can do it, the next thing is leading you to Christ. Then the next thing is giving you some disciplines that you need to put into yourself, because it's not only God's work. You have to work on yourself too. You have to know that there are some things you need to stop. There are some places you need to stop going. There are prayers you need to pray for yourself. Then there are places you need to begin to see yourself, and there are places you don't need to begin to see yourself again. You need to understand the atmosphere of the fellowship of the brethren. You need to understand that there is a need for you to always stand before God. You have issues, so you need to always find yourself in places that can solve that issue. Don't go to places that can. You can't be coming out. You can't tell me that you want to leave prostitution, but beer parlor is your place. It's not possible. You have to find your place in another kind of environment. So I don't know. God have helped me so far to always tell people and always give them that conviction that you need to change environments. You need to change where you go. You need to change your friends. You can't want to change with the same friend, or let the friend wants to change too. You need to change where you go. You need to change your friends. You need to change your atmosphere spiritually, physically, so that you can be able to get what you are looking for. So I think that's just it. That's just it.
Wow. Oh, thank you so much for pouring out. Yeah. I believe that this life experience will really go a long good.
Do you know when I stopped fraud? Some people have to. My Facebook blocked. I was not the one that blocked it. You know, I had this Facebook that was really going well. Even when I don't know that Facebook can give people lifetime. We're just doing it as lifestyle. Birthday, we post everything we post. We're just having likes and going forward. When I gave my life to Christ, all of a sudden that Facebook blocked. I didn't block it. I lost all my friends. Meanwhile, I've already dealt with my SIM card, and the other phone I left it before going. So it means that I'm going for a new SIM card, number one. And number two is that there is no Facebook again. But when I opened another Facebook, even as a new person, my old friends were able to reconnect again with me. I didn't block them, but I made them to understand that there are boundaries. Yeah. I was very clear. Whether you like it or not, I'm now a mic holder. Whether you like it or not, I'm now a Christian. Some people were like, hey, rugged number one non-term pastor. I say, now so. Now that my pastor, so now I think they do that thing before. I don't want again. Some changed. I have like 5 that changed. 5 of them. I say, hey, now so I want to do now. You know, when you begin to show people whom you really have become, it's a sign for them to know that there is separation already. You and this person, there is a separation already. So you don't even need to hide it. I was not hiding it. I made it very clear. So if you're still staying with me, just be ready to know that I'm not changing. I'm not changing for you. You are the one that can change for me. Or we are just there talking to me. Normal human relationship. We just talk. So it was very clear. When they were even trying to chat me back, when they're trying to come back to me, I was making it plain to everybody that this thing have changed, the environment have changed. In fact, one day I was tempted to go and see one of my friends in Asaba. And that one said, nah, they were serious with this thing. He said, nah, they were very serious. I've changed. This is the life I've chosen. In fact, do you know when I changed? One said, let's give him 2 years now. You know, Imaro Jeku. The person only line if he wants to change. Let's give him 2 years. I said, you wait for 2 years forever because you won't see my back. I said, you will wait forever. That one I've changed too. After that, he remembered that thing he said. He said, if the go have done, that means this thing is very serious. So I believe you give people boundaries. When you want to change, you change your environment, you change people you mingle with, you change where you go to. Go to a place where can change you and a place where you will be saved on what you believe. Not just to go anywhere. That's discipline everyone has to give himself when he or she wants to change.
Wow. Oh. Thank you very, very much. I believe strongly that this life experience will really go a long way. Just like you have shared certain things, this is just one of the things an average young person is really battling with today. And I believe that this experience will go a long way to answering some questions, to attending to people that, some young people that feel lost. They feel like certain things are impossible, and all of that. So I really appreciate you for pouring out so much on this. And thank God for your life, moving you from who you used to be to who you are now. How do you see this life now in Christ and serving the Lord as a pastor?
No, the first thing I noticed about life in Christ is that there is, number one, there is this joy there.
Wow.
There's this joy. Some places I found myself, sorry to say, taking me from where I was staying to that Ichidaret. Ichi is a village, Is a village. It's not a place what to compare or to be compared with what I used to see around me before. But how I found joy there is what I can't tell. I found myself, dealing with firewood. Now one con, Silufani is single, But I was happy. I was at peace, doing much of the spending, doing much things, but I was feeling this joy and peace doing them. Even till now. When I go there, I feel more relaxed. I'm at peace with anything they're doing there. In fact, some people from Onitsha, people that knew me from my mom's side, sometimes when I would come to join with them and fellowship, they would say, "Hi, Jekuma village," But any seconds, any minute, I am running back there. That place is like my refuge. I'm running back there like my strong tower. I enjoyed every bit of it. Life in Christ is joy, is peace. You find rest there. You find rest there. You find truth there. You find a true friend there. A true voice that can speak to you every time. You don't need to. If you want, see, Holy Ghost will always tell you the truth. This is what to do. This is what you should do. You can say that this is what to do, but when the Holy Ghost comes, he tells you this is the main thing. Do this thing, you will find peace. And once you do it, you find peace. You find absolute peace. So life in Christ is a different kind of life altogether, and it's a peaceful life. I feel like I know that this is where peace lies. Yeah. There's no need running helter skelter. There are many lies, but you find peace here. Yeah. You find peace here.
Wow. Oh, glory to Jesus. What more can we say than to just say thank you, Lord, at least for saving this one and then giving it as an example for every other person to follow.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for your life. Thank God because I see the good works you do also. And God will continue to strengthen you.
Amen.
And then we hope to still have more time on this podcast show, because I believe you still have a lot that others still need to learn from. So thank you so much once again for making our time to join us in the studio today.
Thank you very much.
I hope to still have another session with you. Thank you so much. I hope you were blessed by this. I would encourage you to please share this video. Share this video now, because by sharing, you might be saving a soul. You might be delivering someone else. So please share it. Anybody you know that is having issues with drugs, fraud, women, or anything, this video is very important for them. So I would encourage you to please share. Just keep sharing and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more amazing podcast sessions like this. See you in our next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and bye.